Hello students, welcome back to another English at Home video. Today we will review vocabulary. We'll be doing a lot of math today, so grab your notebooks so you can write things down. Let's begin. We're going to start with just reviewing the words that we know. Practice saying these words with me. Afford. Afford. Balance, balance. Debt, debt. Financing, financing. Interest, interest. Loan, loan. Pay off, pay off. Great. Now we will practice using these words in a sentence. I want you to look at the words and choose the word that best completes the sentences. Let's look at the first one together. Question: why don't you like to borrow money? Answer: because I don't want to get into. Look at the words. What's the best word to finish that sentence? Why don't you like to borrow money? Because I don't want to get into debt. Because I don't want to get into debt. Remember, debt is money you owe to someone. Okay? So why don't you like to borrow money? Because I don't want to get into debt. Let's look at another one. Why is it expensive to borrow money? Why is it expensive to borrow money? Because you have to pay. And what word do you think goes there? Because you have to pay. Look at the words in the word bank and tell me which word finishes that sentence. Why is it expensive to borrow money? Because you have to pay interest. Remember, borrowing money is not free. If you borrow money from a bank, they will charge you interest. That is money on top of the money that you borrow that you have to pay. For example, if you need to buy a new refrigerator and you borrow $1,000 from the bank, you will have to pay $1,000 plus 3 or 4% interest. Interest is money on top of the money you already have to pay. It's extra money the bank charges you for borrowing money. How much is in your bank account? How much is in your bank account? I'm not sure. I need to check my. What word are we going to put in that blank? How much is in your bank account? I'm not sure. I need to check my. Did you guess balance? You're right. I'm not sure. I need to check my balance. Remember, your balance is the total amount of money you have in your bank account. I'm trying to save money. Are you planning to pay off your. I'm trying to save money. Are you planning to pay off your. What answer do you think goes in that blank? Are you trying to pay off your. What is something you would have to pay off? Right, your loan. Are you trying to pay off your loan? A loan is the money that you borrow from the bank. If you pay off your loan, it means you pay the bank everything you owe. If you borrowed $5,000 from the bank and you pay all of that $5,000 back to the bank, then you have paid off your loan. So now we're going to do some more practice. I told you, you might want to get your notebooks. We are going to be practicing math problems that deal with finances. Let's begin. So let's read the questions and solve the problems. Lenny borrowed $500 from the bank to pay for his car. He had to pay $200 a year for 3 years until the loan was paid off. How much interest did he pay to the bank? So let's see. Lenny borrowed $500 from the bank to pay for his car. We know he paid $200 a year for a total of 3 years. That's how long it took him to pay off the loan. So how much interest in dollars did he pay to the bank? I'll give you a minute to solve the problem. Are you ready? So, if Lenny paid $200 a year for 3 years, he paid a total of $600. $600 take away $500 is $100. So he paid $600 for his $500 loan. How much was the interest? The interest was $100. Do you understand? The bank charged Lenny $100 for borrowing $500. Why would you pay more money to borrow money? Well, if you need something right away, or you want to make a really big purchase and pay for it month by month, you might take out a loan. So even though Lenny ended up paying $600, he was able to get his car and pay the bank back little by little. Let's look at another problem. Lee Than borrowed $2,000 from the bank for a new computer. She paid back $100 a month for 2 years. How much was the total interest that she paid? So she borrowed $2,000 and then she paid back $100 per month for 2 years. Take a minute to write that in your notebook and think about how much money did Lee Than pay the bank in interest. Are you ready? If you need more time, you can always pause the video, that means stop for a minute, and then play again when you're ready. Let's go on. So Lee Than gave the bank $100 every month for 2 years. How long is 2 years? How many months? There are 12 months in a year. So Lee Than gave $100 for a total of 24 months. 24 months is 2 years. So Lee Than gave a total of $2,400 over 2 years, because 100 times 24 is 2,400. The original loan was for $2,000. So if we take the total, $2,400, and subtract $2,000, we are left with $400. So how much interest did Leith Ann pay the bank? She paid the bank $400. Let's practice one more problem. Surrey borrowed $1,600 from the bank to fix her roof. She paid back $300 per month for 6 months. How much was the interest? So again, she borrowed $1,600 from the bank. Another way to say $1,600 is $1,600. Then she paid back $300 every month for 6 months. So how much was the interest? Take a minute to solve. And remember, if you need more time, you can always stop the video for a second, solve the problem, and then hit play. Let's continue. So Surrey paid $300 times 6 months. That's a total of $1,800. The $1,800 take away the $1,600 of the original loan means that she paid $200 total in interest. Do you understand? She borrowed $1,600, but in the end, she paid $1,800. That means she paid $200 in interest. We did a lot of math today. We talked a lot about interest. What I want you to learn from today's lesson is that borrowing money isn't free. When you borrow money from the bank, they always charge you interest. Interest is how the bank makes money. If you need to borrow money from the bank, you should always ask, what's the interest rate? The interest rate is the percentage the bank will charge you for borrowing the money. Now, sometimes we need to borrow money. If you want to make a big purchase, or if you need money right away, like you need to fix your roof and you don't have enough money, it's okay to borrow money, but it's important to know what's the interest rate so you can calculate how much money on top of your loan will you be paying. So for homework, I want you to look at this example. Rawa has decided to buy a home. The home cost $150,000. The balance in Rawa's bank account is $20,000. She will use this money to pay for the house and ask the bank to lend her the rest. My first question is, how much money does Rawa need to borrow from the bank? How much money does Rawa need to borrow from the bank? And my second question is, if the total interest the bank is charging her is $5,000, so they will give her the loan, but they will charge her $5,000, how much will it be for Rawa to pay off the loan? How much money will Rawa have to pay off the loan? We'll talk more about purchasing a home and finances in the next video, and I'll give you the answers to the homework then. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.